name is Ryan Cole. I turned 18 on the day my family brought. I was never really part of it. I was in the back room of the small cafe where I worked, hanging cheap, fairy light and a leaning up printed invitation on the table. The money in the tip jar beside me had taken months to save. It was all for this one night. Then my phone buzzed. A message from mom in the family group chat. Party cancelled. Family emergency. A minute later, my brother rushed in, caring about a weekend trip to LA that had fallen apart. Mom followed, shuddering but understanding. She said, "Your brother is having a hard time." I dropped the invitation into a metal bowl and lit them. The paper colored into black ash. No one stopped me, no one asked if I was okay. What I did not know then was that me walking out was not the end of the story. It was the fuse being lit. Before I tell you what happened after I left, comment what time it is, where are you, and tell me, have you ever had your happiness cancelled because someone louder demanded the support light? I did not go home that night. Instead, I packed a small backpack behind the cafe counter, a few clothes, the cash from my tip jar, and the small audio recorder I sometimes used to practice talking like a podcast host. I did not know why I grabbed it. It just felt important. 42 minutes later, the city bus dropped me near my Grandpa Joe's house. Grandpa Joe used to host a local radio show years ago. Even in retirement, he still had the calm voice that made people feel heard. He opened the door before I even knocked. He looked at my face for 1 second and shook his head gently. "That's not a birthday smile," he said. "Come in. I made too much chili anyway." Later that night, I went to the spare room to find a blanket. Old storage box were stacked in the corner. While moving them, I noticed a worn notebook. My mom's maiden name was written on the cover. I opened it. One entry written when she was 16 said, "Dad only cares about my brother trophies. I feel like furniture in my own house." Another entry stopped me cold. "If I ever have son, I swear I will never make one feel like the extra." My chest tightened. Grandpa leaned in the doorway and sighed. "Your mom was the less shanky kid," he said quietly. "She promised she had been different, but some people repeat the same story, just wearing a new outfit." I turned on the recorder. "This is Ryan Call 18, I said softly. "Birthday cancelled. Family pattern discovered. My mom once promised not to become exactly who she is now." Grandpa Joe aesthetic used to be his radio stereo, dusty speakers, an old mixing board, a vintage microphone, and cables running across the floor. It looked messy, but to me it felt like a place where people told the truth. One night Grandpa tapped the microphone and said, "You have got something to say." "You said." That's how the podcast started. I caught it. The second chair, like the musician in a band who plays just as hard but never gets the spotlight. The one people barely notice. I kept my voice slightly filtered and used smile cover art so no one could trace it back to me. In 2 weeks, something strange happened. Thousands of people were listening. My message filled with comments. "I am the other son too. I thought it was just me. Please keep talking." Then my brother posted on Instagram story. It showed a picture of my empty bedroom. Caption: "Some people cannot handle real pressure. They run and play victim." A minute later, mom texts, "Stop it making things harder. Your brother is devastated about his LA program. You walking out is selfish. We will talk about your birthday later." My life fell under later. His cross is stamped urgent, so I went home. Phone recording, podcast app live. The viewer counter climbing fast. Mom and my brother were in the kitchen when I walked in. I laid a bank printout on the table. $16,000. I said, "My college fund. Transfer to pay for his housing and flights." Mom's face went pale. "You gambled with my future," I said quietly and sat on him. My brother laughed toward my phone. "Turn it off. You are not making me the villain." I held it tighter. "If you are not the villain," I said, "why are you afraid of people hearing what's actually happening?" Then I held up the journal page. Mom, open handwriting. My brother's phone buzzed. He opened an email. His face strained. The LA summer program had just resigned his placement due to reputational concerns. You ruined everything, he shouted. I shook my head. You did that the moment you made my life your collateral damage. I ended the live stream and walked out. By the time Grandpa's car pulled into the driveway, the video had 1.2 million plays. The fallout came fast. 2 days after the live stream, my dad called. I watched the video. He said quietly, I am sorry I chose not to see it before. My parents started fighting after that, loud enough that neighbors heard. Dad moved out for a while and stayed with a friend. My brother's world changed too. A few weeks later, someone sent me a photo of him working the register at a small grocery store. The music program in LA had quietly removed his photo from their website. Meanwhile, my phone kept buzzing. Podcast network wanted to talk. Mental health brands offered sponsorship. People said the second chair helped them understand their own families. With the first sponsorship money, I did something simple. I signed up for online counseling. Then one night my mom called. Her voice sounded tired. I'm sorry I canceled your birthday. She said, I'm sorry I took your saving. I'm sorry I made you the one who always had to adjust. I took a breath. Calling it sacrifice does not make it less selfish. I told her, you bet on him and made me the safety net. She went quiet before speaking again. Your brother barely gets out of bed. No, she said softly. He reads hate comments until he cannot breathe. His whole identity was being the chosen one. When they broke, there was nothing underneath. I rubbed my eyes. I did not want him destroyed. I said I just wanted a life where I did not have to be a small so he could be big. After a moment, Mom asked one thing. Will you come to one family dinner? The night of the dinner, I knocked on the door instead of using my key. A small detail, a clear line. We sat around the table quietly. I spent 18 years learning how to read a room, I said finally, so I could disappear from it. My brother looked down. I did not know another way to be, he admitted. Dad cleared his throat. I told myself it was not that bad. He said I was wrong. I looked at all of them. I forgive you, I said slowly, but forgiveness does not mean I am coming back. Later that night, I recorded the next podcast episode. Favoritism does not just break the kind who gets less. I said into the microphone, it breaks the one who gets more too. One grow up believing he is never enough. The other grow up afraid that without the pedestal, he is nothing. Before ending the episode, I left listener with a question. In your own story, are you the Ryan, the brother, or the parents? And what's one small thing you could change this week to rewrite the script? Also tell me this, if you were in my place, would you have gone public or stayed silent to protest the family image?